you can't replicate someone else's story. I feel like that's like very obvious, right? But I feel like we tend to forget that, and we tend to forget that sometimes the same input doesn't lead to the same output. Now, I'll give you an example in case you don't get what I'm trying to say. A lot of people look up to Andrew Tate, right, or Kanye West or Elon Musk, right? And these are people who have got really good results, very good results. And it's results that on average people don't achieve, right? So the reason people don't achieve them is not necessarily because these people have something so crazy that none of us have. It's a lot of the time, right? They have something that is very powerful and they mix that with a situation that lets that powerful thing thrive, right? So I was reading the book The Psychology of Money. I'll read it right off my phone where I wrote the note. It says, oftentimes, results are not due to hard work or intelligence. Rather, smart and hardworking people being on one side of a coin, the coin between risk and luck. Don't judge someone based on their results, but on their character. And additionally, the more extreme the result, the harder it is to emulate, as their personal experiences are likely highly altered by luck. Instead, focus on patterns and tendencies that create success often. So, what do I mean by that? For example, if I were to look at Kanye's story, right? If I were to look at, I don't know why Booba's just, that's my cat, Booba, right there. I don't know why she's just staring at you guys, but okay, anyways, alright? So if I were looking at Kanye's story, or let me say someone I know, like, pretty sure Andrew Tate used to kickbox, right? Let's look at Andrew Tate, right? So Andrew Tate kickboxed, right? And from there, he built connections in the scene that allowed him to get into business ventures and make money, right? He made primarily, I believe, his initial earnings from kickboxing and winning in earnings. And it's a great accomplishment in terms of career path. He did great. But if I were to go into kickboxing, right, and then if I were to do this, I believe he said he ate onions at some point. If I were to do that shit, I don't think I would be where he is now, where I have a crazy net worth. I believe he's near $1 billion or some shit. I'm not really caught up with him if I'm honest, but you get what I'm saying here, right? So if what he did worked for him, right? But the reason it worked for him is not because that is a path that works for everyone else, but rather it's the path that worked for him, right? So think about it. There are countless other kickboxers who you don't know and I don't know, right? Again, I'm just using him as an example, but we can look at pretty much any field and do the same thing. Now, to say that every kickboxer didn't succeed because of, some crazy, like, well, because they were fat, lazy, whatever, I don't think that's true. A lot of kickboxers have to be very fit and mentally strong, right? Boxers, any athlete, right? So to say it's because they were lazy, didn't work hard, didn't do the right things is just not true. So, what can you take away from that? Who gives a fuck? I give a fuck now. Okay, right? Okay, what am I saying? Basically, what I am saying is that you can't replicate someone else's story, but you can write your own, right? And I think oftentimes people tend to forget that, or at least I do, right? Bro, you, at least most of us, I can't talk for everyone, I can talk for a lot of the people I know though. We have the power to do some crazy shit if we just tried. Not even just tried, if we just wanted to, right? Like, think about it. How many times in life are you just acting like a robot? Because me personally, I caught myself, for a while, I was sort of just mindlessly living, right? Like, I'd be sort of like this, like, on my phone. Shit, might even hop on Brawl Stars or Clash Royale. You know, it's fun as shit. I can't lie. I still have fun doing that. Right? But, like, you're just tapped out. You know, people are locked in. You're almost locked out of your own mind. Right? I'm doing the schoolwork. I'm doing all the work I'm supposed to. But for some reason, when I go to bed, I'm not fulfilled. And that's a weird feeling to describe because it's not because you're not doing something, but it's because you're not doing it right. You are not the author in your own story. And you're just letting the story write itself. Which is so wrong. Because we truly, truly, truly have the power to do some crazy shit. Like, think about it. Right? If you wanted to right now, you could start a YouTube channel if that was your dream. You could. Right? Why don't you? Well, maybe it's not your dream. Okay. What is? Oh, I want to go into like this lawyer type industry. It's crazy hard. You just got to go into school and see what you can do from there. Do you though? What can you do now? Let's say you're 17 years old like I am. What can you do right now to be in that field a bit more? Or build connections in that field? Okay, let's think. Right? Do I know someone whose parents might be a lawyer that I'm sort of friends with? And can I ask them so I can talk to their parents? Right? See if I can make connections in that field. Okay, no. Can I go to events? Right? I mean, most people can. Okay, maybe I don't have the money for an event. Maybe it costs $50. What's stopping me from getting a job? Right? And building my experience. Right? Okay, well, let's say I don't have experience and no jobs want me. Why don't I build experience by volunteering? Right? There becomes a point where there's always something you can do. It's just you got to admit to yourself if it's worth it for you. Right? You, me, all of us have, like, we have the power to do things. We can make action. Right? Because, like, the way I see it is any work is better than no work. Right? And, I mean, I'm not coming to you as some guy who just, like, discovered, like, fucking the hidden piece or some shit. All I'm saying is, if this could hit anyone at home who was in a similar position to me a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago now, if anyone could benefit from this, right, I want you to know, or if anyone was in that position, I want you to know, dude, girl, boy, whatever the fuck, bro, you could do whatever you want, right? And, like, you have the power to do it, right? We forget that. We get caught up in, oh, my face doesn't look how I want it to. Oh, I don't got the money to afford jewelry that I want, or clothes that I want, or even like, oh, I feel like people are judging me. Bro, we all feel that. I feel like even rich people are worried. Hey, is my Lambo nice enough? Right? Like we're always gonna have these worries, right? And, like, I don't know, maybe my dad is still self-conscious about his weight. I'm pretty sure it, like, never goes away. But those thoughts are very separate from thoughts that allow you to make action happen. And I just went over it, but action doesn't have to be big. It just has to be there, right? And it being there, it's almost like a snowball, right? Where if though, let's say I'm pushing that shit down the hill, right? I have a snowball pushing that down the hill. I could lightly tap it and it might move, right? That's good. But if I don't tap it or if I don't try and push it, well, obviously it's never gonna move, right? It's the same way with your progress and goals, right? Lightly tapping it, going very light, is so much more impactful than doing nothing at all, right? Because eventually, enough light taps, I feel like that ball is gonna start rolling, right? And once those light taps go into a bit heavier, oh, it's gonna roll. And guess what happens when something goes down a hill? It goes faster and faster and faster, right? As speed builds up. I feel like in the same way, that's how progress works. Momentum is there, right? But you just gotta start pushing that ball.